How's it going? Somebody's excited to do their first stream. They really wanted to build the hype. Hello, Tome, Julie, Din, Dezo, Michael, Agent Orange. Are you guys ready to take a look at the game today?
Oh, streaming's so weird.
You're gonna be all right, man.
Yeah, no.
This is gonna be fun.
I'll be fine.
It's gonna be great.
If anybody hasn't seen my Kickstarter bloopers video before, you should watch it, and you'll understand how amazingly awesome I am on camera.
All right. So what are we here to do today?
We are going to talk about Doomtrooper.
I like it.
Yeah, and we need to do this more often. We were scheduled to start this, I believe, January 1st, and we're a little late, so we're glad that you guys are still here.
Nothing like throwing me under the bus to start.
Oh, no, it's my fault. It's totally my fault. I have a broken light at home and a new green screen and a stream deck that doesn't quite work, but it's slowly coming together.
Yeah.
So we are live from Chris's house, which some of you have met at Discord, or if you've ever seen us at a convention, you've seen his shining, smiley, handsome face. And we'll do some from his house and some from my house, and hopefully it's the first of many.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody's excited for this.
Yeah.
Eric.
Here, can you want me to move this closer so you can see it?
I got my tablet too.
Okay. Also, are we pretty good on audio? We haphazardly threw this together while doing costume work, so I'll make sure everything's good to go.
Also, we have special guest Fred Malmberg hanging out in chat, so everybody give your love to him. Without him, there would literally be no Doomtrooper.
Yes.
If you aren't aware, Fred was the founder of Target Games SE in Sweden, which was the creator of Mutant Chronicles, Doomtrooper, Warzone, Cult. He also works heavily with the Conan the Barbarian franchise, if you're a fan of Conan. And I should look at the camera more?
Yes, the chat. I'll handle chat.
So props to Fred for being here and supporting one of his babies, which is Doomtrooper, which is also our baby. So we're excited to show it to you.
Cool. So what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the tutorial, the collection, the store, the avatars, some options?
Let's start with the collection.
Okay, cool.
If anybody has any questions, post in chat. Someone will notice and let me know, and I'll stop staring at it and try to look at the camera more. So from the collection, we are very soon going to be having a proper collection screen for avatars, card backs, titles, and emotes. But for now, we'll show the cards in case some people haven't seen them. So click on cards.
Okay.
Taco time.
That was my killer deck until you nerfed somebody.
So this is the current build that is live. If anybody is currently playing the beta. If you are not playing the beta, there is a code that is live right now to install it, which someone can type in the chat if they want, but the code is Mother's Day, all caps. So happy Mother's Day to any moms in the chat. Judging by our analytics, there are 0 moms in the chat.
Shout outs to moms.
But shout out to all you male watchers, moms, at least. And if there are any moms in here, let us know.
There's a mom downstairs right now.
Oh, okay. Well, props to mom downstairs. 2 moms downstairs, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, one's an old mom.
But they're not watching. They see you enough.
Do they count? Old moms?
Yeah.
I mean, all right. Old moms count.
All right, Julie, hiding over there, says that old moms count. We love old moms. Let's move on from this topic.
All right, cool. We love old moms.
So the code is Mother's Day, all caps. So definitely register if you don't have it. If you're already in, though, you're good. If you're in the alpha, you're in the beta. If you're in the beta, you don't need a new code. So the collection is coming a long way. Chris, if you hover over a card, they pop up and they're nice. I'm currently working on the next update, which is going to show the definition of the keywords. So for this card, equipment and firearm, what do they mean? They're kind of obvious what they mean in the English language, but what do they mean in terms of the gameplay? So they'll pop up in a window next to the card, so you always know what they are. And I'm making an effort to make sure that the descriptions of the keywords show up on every card when it pops up, so that the gameplay is a lot easier to follow, because currently people have noticed that that's hard to follow.
You want to look at some more?
Yeah, go ahead and open the filter and toggle owned cards. Yeah. So all of the cards when you play the game, you have access to right now. but only the ones that we have turned on are lit up and active for deck building. So as we turn on more cards, usually every update we turn on at least a few, they'll light up and they'll be used in your game. Occasionally we have to turn cards off as well. And when we do that, your deck will automatically be marked as inactive if you're using one of those cards. But we only do that when we have big problems with cards, like if a card is triggering something that could, say, crash the game, we'll have to turn it off until we figure out what happened. It only has happened a handful of times, and we try to refrain from doing that. But
you know what I miss from the card art stage?
No.
Is our shrugging guy.
Yeah. If a card art completely fails, you will see the shruggy emoji, which is always fun.
It's a good laugh, especially at demos.
But hopefully you won't ever see it, because that means something went drastically wrong.
So which one of these cards are going to be really powerful? Just looking at some of the grayed out ones.
All of them are too powerful.
Okay.
That's
so we need a lot of
Biogiant.
We need a lot of people to help test and help balance us out.
Yeah, highlight Biogiant. So this is a heavily requested card. We've already brought his stats down significantly. Might have to bring it down a little bit more. For anyone who likes playing card games or likes playing Doomtrooper, one of the things we're trying to get to is a balanced set of stats. In the classic game, there was a real big stat creep as the game got bigger. So say a samurai in the classic game, I believe, had 3 attack and 3 armor, but you look at the Biogiant, even currently is 12 attack and 13 armor. So why would you ever play a samurai when you could play a Biogiant? I mean, bad example, but stuff like that happened a lot. So we're trying to make sure that the stats come down to a point where maybe 6 armor is really hard to kill. 5 armor is probably doable, and 4 armor can get really easy to kill if your guy has a gun. And if we can balance everything around that, there's still room for the Biogiant to be this giant monster. He just won't be allowed to have equipment or any advanced abilities. He's just a pure like monster of attack. Yeah. So he'll be hard to kill, but he's also hard to make stronger. So you have a clear path to being able to take him down. That's some people ask about that a lot, because some cards like the Biogiant or the Grizzly Battle Tank are just really, really big, and we want to try to stay away from that. You'll also see a lot of Thomas Jane. So if we are missing art for a card, we chose to use Thomas Jane instead of the Shruggy. That means the art is coming. Steve is working on that. And, we have to track down a lot of art from the original game. We also have to create some if the cards didn't have art. I believe a handful of our cards, if Steve or someone here knows for sure, I think a handful of our cards were from the 2nd edition that never had art, or maybe the final expansion that never had art. So if cards like that didn't have art created from the classic game, we have to track them down on our own. And a handful of cards that we created, like the Cartel, Grunt, Soldier, Bodyguard, or not Bodyguard.
It's Grunt, Soldier, and
Guardsman.
Guardsman.
We created those cards, so we had to find art. So we're using this amazing art from the Modifius Mutant Chronicles RPG. So it's still in the universe, just stuff that never got to be used in Doomtrooper back in the 90s, and we get to play with it a little bit now. And Modifius has done a great job of creating tons of new art that we can use, and hopefully soon, with Fred's help, we'll be able to create some new art for Doomtrooper. I know everyone, us included, would love to see Paul Bonner come back and make a new piece. Fingers crossed that Fred and Mr. Bonner are partying at a party in the near future. We get Paul Bonner a little tipsy, and we're like, hey, buddy, why don't you come back and make us some new art? So fingers crossed on that, everybody.
Hopefully we're invited to that party, too.
Everybody pray to Algaroth that we're able to do that. Fred will make it happen. So a lot of cards, as you can see, are still coming online. Our main focus lately has been getting the game balanced. Any bugs that are reported, any crashes especially, and any huge balance issues that we have, we've tried to curb before we add more, because every time we add any cards, things change. Like right now, some people think that some of the factions are too weak because we lowered them. Really, it's just because we haven't lowered the other factions. Trying to get down to that 6 average stat is going to make people think that stats are weaker until they're all down at that level. I played a game against, I don't know how to say it, it's like Tao the other day, and he whooped my butt with a real simple Dark Legion deck that was easy to get to like 13 attack with the Slayer ability, which means you kill in 1 hit. I couldn't take him down. I mean, I managed to kill one of his Nephrites, and then he immediately put another one out and beat me. And a lot of people, I think, are playing Algaroth right now for that reason, because there's a clear strategy to high stats with the Slayer ability. It's easy.
Warlord with the polearm.
Yeah, he was using Ragathol with the polearm.
Okay.
And it was really easy to beat me using an Imperial deck. But the thing is that is just because we haven't brought down Ragathol and the Nephrite stats yet. So as they all come down, they will be a little more balanced. And we will be turning on quests soon. Quests have been in the game for a month or two, but basically just me testing them. And the first few quests will specifically be tailored towards testing decks and factions that we think are more balanced than others. So it'll mean you have to play something other than Nephrites to complete the quests. So that'll be coming
Speaking
soon.
of balancing things, I know a lot of people are wondering about what's happening to Tatsu.
So Tatsu has been abused in the current state of the game. If you're not playing Algaroth, you're probably playing Mishma using the Tatsu card. And he can discard any warrior in play and return to the opponent's hand, which by itself is very balanced, but what's not balanced is there's too many ways to get a lot of destiny, which is what you have to use to play Tatsu. So people are putting him out, destroying your warrior, bringing him back to hand, putting him out, destroying your warrior, bringing him back to hand, and basically killing your entire strategy.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, it's not fun, and that's not what we want Doomtrooper to be. So in the next patch, Tatsu's ability is changing where he can still discard any warrior in play, but he stays in play and he gets the single life keyword and a wound, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. But the idea is if you cure the wound, he still has single life, which means he can't get wounded again. And if you somehow remove single life in the future, he's still wounded.
And you could Festering Wounds him too, because
Yeah.
if he only had single life, you wouldn't be able to do that.
So if you activate Tatsu's ability, he will take any guy out from your opponent, but on the flip side, he remains in play. So if you're not able to find another way to get him back to your hand or something, he's probably going to die next turn. So we're going to see how that works and see if it's balanced and if people like it, if it still gets play. I mean, still a very powerful card. He's just, the ultra rare cards like Tatsu aren't supposed to be the most powerful cards in the game. They're supposed to be the most unique cards in the game. And right now that's something we failed at. So we're definitely trying to fix that.
Yeah, that's good. I know people have been really vocal about Tatsu and his abilities. So
he's also a prime candidate to keep a variation of this ability, but bring his value and all of his stats down to say 1. Where maybe not his value, but his stats. Make him a really weak guy, but with a really big ability. So those are the types of things we're considering for all of the ultra rares.
Or we could, and when he comes back to your hand, he goes up in cost as well.
Right.
Because then, you can't just have that destiny be like, oh, boom, 7, 7, 7, 7, because once you have control.
Yeah, and we're not going to do it, but even if his value doubled every time he uses ability, you probably wouldn't play him a second time because you don't want a 14 value guy out. That's pretty much a win in one hit.
Yeah, true. You want to look at anything else in here, or?
No. So the new update also has a better filter. If you open the filter pane, like these were very temp. I just put these in so that they would be usable. The new one adds some toggle switches to the side of every option, so it's very clear which filters you have on and which filters you have off.
And they're bigger and they fill in. Like it's easier to read.
So it's a smaller update, but it'll be a quality of life improvement.
And so we're gonna have all these cosmetics.
If you click on your so right now we have this temporary menu where you can change your card backs or titles or avatars, which is just functional. We want to have a more of a collection view where you can see all the ones you have, some of the ones you don't, and the ones you don't have, you can see maybe a path to get them. So if there's one that you really want, perhaps it'll tell you this comes from a quest, so you know to watch for that quest or try to earn that quest so that you can get the one that you want. Because that's one thing we've always really wanted to do for Doomtrooper is if you want something in the game, we want to always give you a way to get it. If there's a card you want, we don't want you to have to just buy packs to maybe randomly get that card. We want you to maybe have a quest or a mission that you can get that says, which card are you trying to get? And you say, oh, Valerie Duval, I really want that Valerie Duval card. It'll give you a quest that you can have a clear path to get it, so you're less frustrated with having to just randomly acquire it.
And then the missions are going to be not timed, right?
Yeah.
You can accept the missions when you want and play them when you want.
So for people who don't know, we haven't talked about it a lot, maybe in a blog post or previous streams. But on that, one thing we want to do, we've talked about the bubblegum system. So every pack of cards you buy in the game, you get your cards and you also get something else, which we call bubblegum, reference to classic baseball cards. But the bubblegum system will include mission cards. And what mission cards are quests. So if anybody's played Hearthstone or Magic, you get your daily quests, and most games allow you to have 3 or 4 quests active at a time. We'll have something similar to that. But what happens if you complete all your quests and you want to keep playing? I haven't seen a lot of games solve that. And if you know a game that solved that, let me know after chat or on Discord. But our attempt to solve that is mission cards. So if you've collected a series of mission cards, you can, and you have empty slots for your quests, you can just use your mission cards. It'll destroy the card and give you a quest. So the example I've used previously is you're a single dad. Geez. You're a dad, a married father, and you spend all your time working and hanging out with your wife and taking care of the kid like a responsible adult, but you really love Doomtrooper. And I know we have people like that in our Discord. The wife and the kid go out of town for the weekend, and you want to play Doomtrooper all weekend. You want to get caught up and catch up with your single friends, like who have all the cards and all the stats. But you only have 3 quests. So you burn through those in the first hour and then you're bored. Well, what if you had acquired 20 mission cards over all that, daily quests you've been doing the previous weeks? You could sit there and you could burn through all your mission cards, and you would earn a ton of rewards in a small period of time, which is what most games don't want you to do. But you would earn the right to do those rewards. So I think it's totally fair, and it caters to a population that love playing card games, similar to us and a lot of people who played Doomtrooper in the 90s. Like we might not have time to play 3 dailies every day, or even one daily every day. But if you earn these mission cards, you can play at your schedule a little bit more.
Yeah. And you don't feel like you're obligated to keep having to play and missing out. And it's like saying your time is valuable. And then when you're ready to play, you play and you still get the rewards. You're not penalized for not being on that time.
Yeah. And there'll be mission cards that let you earn specific avatars, titles, card backs, cards. We haven't talked much, but we have collectible lore cards, which aren't playable, but they just tell a little bit of story of the background of Mutant Chronicles, because Fred's done such a great job, and everybody involved in the past 20, 30 years has made a really great storyline for this world and these characters. And we want to tell that story, as well as maybe, since Doomtrooper refers to a specific warrior, like Valerie Duval would be called a Doomtrooper, maybe we can expand on some of their stories. Like, what has Big Bob Watts been doing? What is Sean Gallagher's backstory? Some of that stuff may have been touched on in comic books and a couple of the lore books, but some haven't. And lore cards will be a way for us to tell more of the Mutant Chronicles story. And another thing that we want to do to help people earn stuff is, a lot of times in other games, there are rewards for placing in a season. So the June season, you win a reward. Mm-hmm. Our plan for that is, what if you don't play in June, but that is your favorite card back reward and you really want to get it? We're going to make that the June reward from the June season locked for 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, where no one else can earn it. But after it hits a threshold, it'll open up. So let's say December, you place into the December season high enough to earn the reward. You can take December's reward, which will be locked for the next 6 months, or you can choose an older reward that you missed out on. And for me, in Hearthstone, I'm a huge Diablo fan. Like, anyone who knows me knows Steve and I played Diablo in college. I love Diablo 3, played it a lot. There was a Diablo card back in Hearthstone, and I wasn't playing Hearthstone when it came out, and I missed it. And every time I played Hearthstone, I regretted not having it. Yeah. And eventually it was one of the reasons that made me stop playing Hearthstone, because I was so mad that I couldn't get the thing that I wanted. And I don't want people to feel like that. Yeah. So
just another way not to penalize people.
Yeah. But the people who place in the seasons
will still get.
Yeah, they get that exclusive period where no one else can have it for a while. So if you want that feeling, you can still get it. But if you don't really care and you want that old card back, then we want to make sure you get a chance to get it. And our leaderboard and our stats and stuff are coming online now. I would guess within the next month, we'll start seeing some more features related to competitive play hit the game. It won't be permanent, it won't be long-term, but we'll start testing, seeing who's the best player, or more likely, who's using the most unbalanced deck. Yeah. So, but it'll allow us to test leaderboards and stuff, so that'll be fun. Look forward to testing that with you guys.
You want to jump into a game?
Sure. You want to? You can drive this one.
All right. You want to do multiplayer and just have us get stuff?
Well, if people aren't aware, there aren't a huge amount of people that we've invited. We've only recently started inviting people to play the game, like the code that we put out today, which, if you missed it, is Mother's Day, all caps. You register at doomtroopergame.com/beta, which I think someone has put in the chat before. There aren't a lot of players, so you might spend a lot of time in the lobby looking for someone. We do have Discord integration, so you can go in Discord and invite the channel to play, or you can invite your friend to play if they're in the beta via a private message, and help people get into the lobby quicker. But as we start inviting more people and the beta grows, we want to get that time down.
All right, let's play versus the AI. Or you want to play against someone? I only have taco time, and since some cards got changed, it's not as powerful.
I mean, you can see if anyone's in the lobby.
All right, I'm sure there'll be people in the lobby.
Taco time has 5 cards.
Yeah.
You're not using taco time.
Okay. It worked a couple times.
All right, well.
But we're not going to use it now. I always like Mishima.
Sure.
I like Mishima.
So these starter decks have been our starter decks for about 2 years now. We used them a lot for the initial balance run, try to figure it out. And they represent the the balanced game, but they're not as powerful as some decks that our fans are using, or in this case, one of our Discord moderators.
What are you thinking?
I think that hand sucks.
I think so too.
I think you should keep Weapon Link.
Yeah, I was gonna keep Weapon Link. I'm gonna keep this and hopefully get the other cartel friend. 4/4 forward Slayer in the beginning. I like to roll the dice. I did not roll correctly.
Also, thank you for everybody for coming to the stream.
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice to see everybody.
Wait, what? I thought we did versus AI.
No, you did multiplayer.
Did I? Oh.
Can you change your card back?
I did.
Oh, never mind.
Is it because it's on?
Yeah, so we changed our card back to be one of the custom ones, but I forgot that that's only the build on my computer that has that. So we'll have that next time.
Yeah, so this is a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
probably.
You have 2 bodyguards.
Yeah.
Meditate once and put out the samurai.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna hold on to him just in case. I'm gonna discard this other bodyguard. I always try to discard one. I don't like to hold on. I like to cycle through.
Also, if anybody has any questions, feel free to post
definitely.
them. We can answer it as we go. Here's an example too. Combat screen doesn't show you what frontline means, annihilator, heretic, all that. It can be very, and it happens so quickly, it can be very confusing to feel like, why did I get killed? Why did I get wounded? Whatever. So adding the keyword definition to the side is one thing we're working on. After that, we are adding a breakdown of where stat bonuses came from. So you can see, why is this guy's stat 777, for example, if he has a gun or something. And we also want to show a breakdown of, after the battle, make animation or some sort of visual that lets you clearly visually see the result of the battle, as opposed to just the result of the change of the game as a whole.
We're so screwed, dude.
No, it's not looking good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tizo, for embarrassing us
definitely.
live.
This is not the first time this has happened to me. Apparently, it won't be the last. You know, I'm not gonna put anything out. I'm gonna get rid of this samurai. I guess I'll put Longshore out because it's free for the action, so I can draw into more cards.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't. Already discarded. Obviously, can't attack. Let's end.
So, like I said, anyone who plays Algaroth decks is pretty much a cheater because we haven't brought those stats down to match the stats of the other ones, and yeah, Dizo's a cheater.
Yep, pretty much.
So I've referred to this internally a lot. You know, I have the Diablo card back problem, which I explained. The other problem I call, if anyone has played Hearthstone, the Jade Druid problem, which there was a period during my prime time of playing Hearthstone where they added some new cards to the Druid that made it insanely powerful. And you would play the ladder mode, and I'd say 9 out of 10 ladder mode matches you played were against the Jade Druid deck. And I could play maybe 3 matches in a row, and if they were all Jade Druids, I would just get frustrated and go do something else. Because it's not fun to play against the same strategy every single time. It just comes down to whether or not he draws that strategy or you draw your strategy first. You need some variety as you're playing. And the trend that I'm seeing right now is that everyone is playing Algaroth, which means next patch, Algaroth will become weaker. And by weaker, I mean more balanced. I want to encourage people to play the things that we have balanced, such as the Clansman and Imperial, or I'd like to see some Mortificators come back. I know they look weak, but they might not be as weak as we think, as long as your opponent is not playing something like 777
on the
Destroyer deck.
First turn.
But we are a small team. Balance is done effectively by 2 people with input from maybe 2 more. So we need, we appreciate that people are understanding that we can't balance the entire set as we go every time. We have to pick and choose little pieces, and slowly they're all coming online. And we've started putting in some analytics into the back so that we know what cards people are playing and what cards people aren't playing. And it's pretty easy to see if people are playing Destroyers and Heretics a lot, that they're probably the most powerful. And we need to bring it down until it gets to a point where people are playing all cards, or all factions, pretty equal. As much as I've made fun of Hearthstone during the stream, I do think that they've done a very good job over time. If you go to any stat tracking site for Hearthstone, you'll see that every faction pretty much is about 53% win rate for their best deck. If you have a deck that's winning 60%, you can guarantee it's going to get nerfed. And if you have a deck that's winning only 20 to 30% of the games, then you're not playing the right deck. That can be bad if, you know, every faction has a clear winner of the deck, but people have fun with it. And I hope that we can get to a similar place with Doomtrooper, where maybe the samurais aren't as powerful as the Hatamotos in the Mishima faction, but people still play the samurai because there's some cool strategies that if they draw the right cards, they win in a spectacular fashion. And I'm okay with that. But hopefully we can get to that nice, you know, 50 to 55% rate for all factions, but balance is difficult.
We're hanging on by a thread here.
Yeah, no, we're
Well, nope.
No.
Nope.
no.
Nope. Nope.
Oh boy.
Good. Good. It's going.
Diesel, you could have played a starter deck with us. You could have.
Yeah, he really. This happened when I streamed it too. Everybody was just like, "Boom! Let me bring the heat."
So, you know, people may have seen our previous streams. The avatar area where it has our username used to be a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's much clearer now.
I got rid of the titles temporarily so that the usernames are legible. We'll be bringing the titles back because I think titles are a good way to show off your achievements. But we have to redo that area a little bit with our artist. So the artist has just recently finished our last full scene or page, which is the store that we were missing. And we're going to start doing revisions on stuff like this now. We just wanted to make sure that everything else was done before we started changing things that were previously finished. Oh my god. So we have made Heretics a little weaker. It's very clear that they're not weak enough.
Perhaps not. He's gonna have that extra tactical action too. Gonna kill my medic. Oh, all right, we're still in this.
Yeah, so we need to... I've been trying myself to play more games against real players because when you're developing a game, you play very differently. You play very focused. Like I have decks. My decks are called like Bug Hunter because I'm searching for a specific bug with a card and my deck won't be as powerful. Whereas Dizo is obviously just trying to find what is the strongest deck that's going to win as much as possible, which is how a player usually thinks. So one thing I'm working on, which I've hinted at before, is any member of Secret Cal level or people involved in the game are going to get quests that are something like play or win, probably not win, that would be mean, play 10 multiplayer games. And that multiplayer game quest will be specifically tied to their job description. So it's not because I'm trying to be a dick, it's because when you play a game against a real person, you immediately see where the flaws are, where the balance problems are, even where the bugs are, because the real people play the game very differently. So hopefully also when the game actually comes out and we give people rewards for beating a developer, the developers will actually know how to play and craft a deck a little bit better, myself included.
Wow.
Hey, no. So I'm happy to say that
Shots fired, right?
I'm happy to say that the creator of Doomtrooper, Brian Winter, well, I don't know if creator is the right word. I mean, Fred and Brian, I guess, could both be considered creators, but Brian designed the game and the rules of the game and balanced the original sets. He is back in conversation with us. For people who don't know, Brian opened in his post Doomtrooper creation life, he opened a really great board game store in Wisconsin. And if you ever visit it, he has original uncut sheets of classic Doomtrooper, the commons, uncommons, and rares framed on the wall. The only complete set of unprinted cards that I've ever seen. And he just recently opened a second store. So he's been very busy the past couple months, but things are starting to settle down, and he's been helping out with some balance suggestions and some gameplay. And he confessed to me, sorry to call him out, that he's horrible at deck building too. So it's a thing with game designers and developers. We play the game very differently, and we rely on Dizo and the rest of you guys to kick our ass as much as possible so we understand how to build a better deck.
Do you want to draw a card?
Is he just playing with you at this point?
I mean, yeah, no, he don't.
He's just toying with you.
Yeah, no, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Here, let's restart and let's be regular decks. You've won. Do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna draw a card. No. Can't do it. Can't do it.
So there are some developer cheat codes that we use for testing purposes.
Yep.
But you'll be happy to hear that those are getting turned off in multiplayer games probably in the next update. So
Allegedly.
no. They'll be replaced with secret keystrokes that nobody can see that just top deck the most powerful. No, I'm totally kidding. Multiplayer games need to be
KFA
pure.
draws all weapons.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing. Let's restart and just play default decks, because you won. This is not good for us. There's nothing in this deck that will get us high enough. Well,
or he could just win.
He could just
instead
win.
of just toying with you like a cat with a dead mouse.
All right, fine. I'll stick it out. Stick it out. I kind of want to. But then I'll show it to everybody.
Yeah.
That's why I was
No cheating. No cheating live on stream. No cheating.
No cheating. That's a good rule. No cheating. No. Oh, good. Good.
So I'll take this time too for the rest of you guys.
Q&A.
If you have questions, go ahead and ask. I can start answering them now. But the next update of the game that we're working on, lost my notes, but let's see. We're cheating. We're playing default decks. He's got 27 Destiny. He's not killing me. He's got the stuff. We know he does. We're gonna be honorable in retreat. Yeah, but somebody else might be in multiplayer who's not honorable. So the next build that comes out, I'm working on finishing, should help with the keywords so people understand the keywords and great. Hey, at least it's different. Yep. I've added a feedback menu to the main menu, so some of you who play the game who aren't in Discord will have a place to give feedback directly to us, which will go to probably myself, Chris, and Steve. So if you have major problems with the game or balance issues or things that you think we are missing, you can make sure they're on our radar by sending it directly to us. We are also working on the ability to swap equipment. Yeah. So in the classic game, you could have 20 guns on your guy, and when you attack, you say, I'm attacking you with this gun, and that's the one that is used for the combat. What we are trying to do, since we need to simplify the UI and we need to simplify the gameplay a little bit for digital, you will be able to give a guy a new gun, but the previous gun will be discarded. So the plan right now is when you drag it to the guy, there's a confirmation window that tells you, if you give him a Punisher handgun and he has a Deathlock drum, it'll say, warning, the Deathlock drum will be discarded if you give him the Punisher. Do you want to continue? And you say yes, and it'll just do exactly that. So it helps a lot because sometimes you give a guy a gun because you need it or you're gonna die, and then later you draw the gun you really wanted him to have in the first place. So it'll change the strategy up a little bit. Where is my... What are you looking for? I had no... I thought they were on your laptop. Yeah. I have a horrible memory when there's a camera in my face. So the next build should include, depending on some problems that we hit, the ability to customize your card backs finally. We've been meaning to turn that on forever. We just had to get the new card backs in. The nerf for Tatsu, so people will stop abusing him. We're fixing a bug with the card Leashed, because Leashed apparently does not play well with the AI. As well as there is one player who didn't get it, which is weird because everyone has all the cards right now except him. He has every card except one. We're investigating what happened there. So if any other players have trouble with leash, that should be fixed. The ability to swap your equipment, which I just mentioned. We are working on adding emotes to the game. So some of the test code will be going in the next update, but it'll probably be quiet to most of the public. But you will have the ability to... You'll have slots for emotes. You'll have 5 slots, I think, for a text emote to communicate to your opponent, and 5 slots for an animated image emote. And we are working on bringing back some pixelated versions of classic characters that convey emotion that we will be showing off soon. But we'll have like angry ones, happy ones, sly ones, as well as the text ones that you're used to from playing other games. But the difference is all of ours are slot based. So as you earn more from rewards, or you some we will sell in the store, so you can get specific ones that you want. You can decide what 5 you want to have loaded in the game. And at someone's request, we will be having for beta a emote that says "I'm testing a bug," or "Please wait, I'm testing something," something along those lines, in case a bug appears. As well as we will have an emote to test that is my personal favorite, which just says "My deck sucks." Because every time I'm playing and I try to make a deck and I play against somebody, I don't draw the cards I want, and I need a way to tell the opponent that my deck sucks.
You know that's what they're gonna do, and I want it to be a deck that's on fire.
Yeah,
like a little burning deck.
I mean, yeah, we could make a animated one as well. That is a burning deck. So we're gonna be testing that in the next update, and then the one after that is probably when it's gonna go live. But we'll see how that goes. There's a lot of times in the game when you're waiting on someone to do something and you want to say, "Are you there?" Well, maybe we'll have an "Are you there?" emote. Feedback is, like I said, is now in the main menu, so you'll be able to, real quick, if you hit escape, underneath where it says developer, there's a feedback menu that will have an input box that you can send directly to us. Easy to use. We're making some improvements to the chat bot in Discord. For example, the chatbot will be able to tell you the stats in the text of a card. So if you have a question and you say !card in the name of the card, he will give you back the info on that card, which helps during conversations. Eventually, it'll be updated to a graphic of the card, but I don't want to spend too much time on that when we have more cards to add to the game. Then we're doing a little bit of support for empty decks. Like if a card lets you draw from your draw pile, but you've ran out of cards, there should be special messaging for that. I'm putting the beginnings of that in, as well as there are rules related to the end of the game. If you run out of cards, the game doesn't end. I believe it's if you're unable to play a warrior for 2 turns. I'll have to double check the specific rules, but I'm trying to start to get those in, because now that we have people playing actual long games, it's more likely that something like that can happen. It's been requested that we add a confirmation to sabotage. So if you attack your opponent directly when he has no warriors in play, you need to have a message that pops up that says, like, "Do you want to sabotage?" or "The opponent has sabotaged you." So we're going to put some visual stuff in that so it's very clear. And a big request that we've had is if your opponent retreats from the game, that needs to count as a lose, and you get the win screen. Especially once we get to stat tracking, which is going to be starting in the next couple updates. If someone retreats mid-game, you get your win and you go up the leaderboard because they physically retreated. And if they disconnect and they don't come back, I mean, that's going to count as a retreat eventually, but it's unfortunate. You can resume games pretty well now, but if they never come back, we got to count it as a lose. A few little bugs that have been around forever have been reported with Elite Trooper and Coagulant Auto-Injector. We're going to fix those, as well as starting to show off some of variant cards that we haven't shown before.
Oh yeah, we're going to show a card back and
yeah, so as soon as this
game's over.
Well, so it's 0.
I had to take Destiny on one of these.
I see that.
Not my turn.
I don't know, is the Ugly Muckling in Twitch right now, or is he only on Discord?
I don't know. This is a more competitive game, though.
Also, we can welcome Invader. Invader is one of the main programmers on the project, and he usually doesn't get out of bed, I figured, on the weekends until about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So
not for us.
You know, it's an honor to have him join us so early in the afternoon. So thanks, Invader, for gracing us with your presence. Oh, hoodie.
Oh yeah. Well, I was gonna do that at the.
Yeah, while we're playing the game too.
I was gonna say at the store. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
So we haven't really been pushing it yet. We're going to start pushing it more in the future for people who have requested it. But we do have a store set up where we have some Secret Cal level clothing, which is what Chris is wearing now, as well as Doomtrooper shirts, which I have on now, that we usually have at conventions when we're selling. But people who can't make it to the conventions, we want to make sure that people who want to rep Doomtrooper or Secret Cal level
I'm in cover now. What?
are able to.
I love cover.
And one thing that has been requested, where we've only printed tests of, are the hoodie. So I brought my hoodie here. You can see it shows all of the factions plus the Secret Cal level logo, and it says Doomtrooper Beta at the bottom. So obviously we won't be selling these forever, but we are going to be doing a pre-order. I mean, it's live right now, that we want to let people pre-order the hoodies, and then we will be shipping them, if all goes well, somewhere around early next month. But we, you know, as you can imagine, hoodies are very expensive, so we usually don't print them to keep them on hand, not yet, but people have requested them. So we will post some information on social media and in Discord, and maybe in the Twitch chat, so that people know where it is. We are marking them down to $50. Most of the hoodies that we've seen online have been $60, but we're gonna do, since it's a pre-order and people are getting in early, they're $50. And we are throwing in some bonus items. I believe we are throwing in a sticker, a button, which will be a random button from a past convention that we've done. A lot of them have Valerie Duval or Nephrites on them. And we also have promo cards. I don't know if you have your promo card.
I never got one.
Oh, well, you never got one. So we have physical promo cards that have a code on them, and the code lets you into the game. But codes can also come with in-game rewards attached to them. So the code that's on these cards comes with an avatar and I believe a variant card and a few other things. And we have given them away a lot or sold them at conventions, or usually if someone buys something, we will be including one of those cards with a code with every person who buys a hoodie. So if you're interested in getting some exclusive avatar and stuff for when the game goes live, ordering a hoodie will get you a card, which will come with all that stuff. So we will put some more information on that on social media and Discord and stuff over the next coming weeks. And hopefully we can get that order placed by the end of the month. So if anybody wants a hoodie, and we do international shipping now. And I believe some of our people have looked at the shipping rates, and they were reasonable. And we've done some test runs. I believe we've shipped to Kevin's in Germany, right? Mm-hmm. We've shipped to Germany. I think we've shipped to Sweden and a few other places, and we have had no problems. So if you're worried about international stuff, so far so good, and the prices should be reasonable. If they're not reasonable, hit us up. We'll figure it out. But we did a lot of research to try to figure out that we weren't gouging anybody on shipping prices. We just want to make sure it gets to you safe. So yeah, check it out. I saw Steve posted the link in there. And we're going to be adding some more smaller items to that store as we go. People have really liked the Secret Cal level merch, so we're going to make some more Secret Cal level shirts and stuff.
We're talking about some...
Oh yeah, we're trying to make some hats. We're doing a test run of some Secret Cal level hats because people love the cow.
Any idea when you'll get more 3XL or 4XL shirts?
Oh man, every time we print more big shirts, and then people want more. So next run.
We're trying to manage the demand.
Yeah, so I think next run we will have more. Steve can tell us if we have 3XL of anything now, but I think we have 3XL Secret Cal level shirts.
Should.
At least 2XL, because we definitely ordered more in our last print run of those. And if we don't sell the hoodie in that big of a size and you want it, we can, since we're pre-ordering it. We might have to double check if there's an increase in cost, because I know the more X's attached to the size, the printers will charge us more money. But we should still be good. If it's like $1 or $2 extra, I don't care about the... I mean, I'll pass the savings on to you guys. I want to see more people wearing Doomtrooper stuff in every country in Europe. So well, and in every state in the U.S.
Absolutely. Good looking stuff.
Let's see, UK and Canada. Oh, we've shipped to UK and Canada, I believe is what Steve was saying. And also, if you're curious, I am a total snob when it comes to clothing. So all of our shirts are printed on Bella Canvas brand shirts. Or if you look up Canvas, you can probably find it as well. Or if you look through your own shirts that you've bought from other vendors, hopefully you've bought a handful of them. They're very soft, they're thin, they're not thick and scratchy. And then our print is done by some trusted printers that we use, so that it's gonna last a long time and it's done right, so that we're not immediately cracking and looking horrible when it gets washed the first time. So I don't want to just print these for marketing. I want to print them for quality as well. It's very important to me that anything under the Secret Cow level brand is as polished as we can do, and that is
they're very comfortable. Yeah, I wouldn't just say that if they weren't. Like
our apparel, our enamel pins are very nice, and the games that we make, starting with Doomtrooper, you know, I want to make sure we do the best that we can.
Can't see it because of the...
Yeah, I mean, I got some on my shirt.
Yeah, he's got some.
So we got enamel pins.
Really good pins for the conventions. If you see us there.
So the orange ones were the first Nephirites we printed, and the black ones, unfortunately, are for
get me out of here.
staff. So the black ones aren't for sale. Currently, we're selling a glow-in-the-dark white one and a red one. The red one is always reprinted. The glow-in-the-dark may or may not be. It probably won't be reprinted in the next run. But the Nephirites are really fun, and people always like them. So we keep those around forever if anybody's in.
I think we might have to admit defeat again.
Yeah, I'm happy that if Ugly Muckling's around, I'm happy to see Bauhaus, because it's not the most powerful faction, and it's not the most that I see played. So that's what I like to see.
I love the look of them, though.
I've never seen anybody fight me with Capital, by the way, so I'd love to see some more Capital players.
Could be the first quest.
And I'll tell you, my decks are, I have a Hatamoto Mishima deck because I designed Yojimbo to be something I really liked. It never wins, but maybe I'll get better. And then I have a Sean Gallagher Klansman deck that Sean Gallagher was my favorite card in Classic Doomtrooper. So I wanted to kind of bring him back to his former glory, and I'm pretty happy with his ability right now. But we'll continue monitoring balance and everything. Oh, and also the next update we're working on after the current one. Hopefully Invader will have some magic for us, but we are working on the most requested feature, I believe, which is being able to interrupt cards outside of combat. We haven't really talked about that before. This might be the first time it's been publicly said, but I believe it will do two things. One, it will slow down the game, and that's not necessarily good, but we're going to do our best with animations to make sure that it doesn't. But two, it's going to set us apart from a lot of other card games. I believe like Hearthstone started the trend, and games like Elder Scrolls, and I don't know for sure with Gwent, they have eliminated the ability to interrupt cards because it slows down the game. So they've made things like secret cards in Hearthstone that react during your opponent's turn, but generally during your opponent's turn you can't play anything. We started testing that water with combat, so that's why during combat you can play surprise cards, and it makes the game feel a lot more exciting. That was a very important part of classic CCGs, and it'll be a very important part of digital. So when you play a card, your opponent, you will see an animation for 3 to 5 seconds. Your opponent will see a 3 to 5 second countdown that allows them to play an interrupt card or pause the clock. If they pause the clock, it pulls from a 60-second bank that they have for the entire game. And once that bank is gone, they can no longer pause the clock ever. But we want them to be able to pause it if they need more time to think, or, very important, if they want to bluff. I think that's important. If somebody plays a weak warrior and you pause the clock for 5 extra seconds, they might think you have a counter to a warrior, and they might think twice about playing another warrior next turn. And you might not have it. You just want them to think you do. And I think bluffing is a very important part of card games. I think that's why poker is so fun, and I think that's why...
That's why I really like Gwent, is from the bluffing and the lying.
So the ability to have a 5-second interrupt every time a card is played, that can slow down the game a lot. And we're going to spend a lot of time on the animations and trying to make sure that it feels as good as possible. Because a lot of our work in beta is going to be regarding animations and UX and making the game feel as good as we can, as well as adding more cards and balancing.
And so building better decks so I don't get beat every time that we play when doing one of these streams.
So definitely look forward to helping us test that. We are in the process of finishing some changes to our backend infrastructure, our servers and our databases and whatnot, and we will be having a testing server. So we'll be testing stuff like that with a few volunteers. If people are interested, we'll put more info when we're ready. But we'll have a test server that will have a newer version of things that people can play with before it goes live to the public. And that's an effort. We've had some downtime in the past where we've had bad deploys, or we've pushed out an update to a card that wasn't fully tested properly. So we're hoping that having up a testing environment will allow us to make sure that the live server that everybody's playing stays stable. And what we'd like to get to is, for example, say on a Monday, we push an update to our test server. And the following Monday, that goes to the live server, and we push a new one to the test server. So we're always testing some new stuff for whatever time period. That's one update ahead of what the live people are seeing. Because stability is very important. We got to make sure that the game stays live, because if somebody wants to play it, we need to let them. But maybe we have crazy stuff to test. We need to be testing that on a different server. So we meant to be doing that before beta, but we are a small team, and things get difficult. And Chris lost, so
I'm fired.
Better start.
That was it. Start drafting up a resume. Do you want to take a look at the card back and card art?
Which the card? What?
Original.
Oh yeah. So another thing that we have coming that we haven't shown yet, which Chris is going to show now. So this is an exclusive first look at a work in progress that we've been doing. This is the retro variant. If you've ever played a classic Doomtrooper game, which I should have brought classic cards with me, you'll realize that this looks a lot like it, but not quite the same. The reason is because the shape of the cards are different than the classic cards. These are skinnier and taller to fit in the new UI. So our artist has taken the classic Doomtrooper card game and made it work for the new system. The stats and the text are from the old game, because this was just a mock-up, but there is the front visible now, and then the back is here. This card back will be available in-game. It will be earnable. There is a variant of this that was given away during the Kickstarter. May have been a couple variants of this, but the classic as itself, we will keep available for other players. But it will be difficult to obtain, and you can go back. And the retro variants are currently scheduled to be one of the rarest variants. So one thing that we don't like, I know Steve and I talked about this a lot, is it's going to look weird, kind of. The juxtaposition of this with the other cards. But it's been something that has been requested enough that we want to make sure that people get it. So we will talk more in the future about how you can earn the retro variants. The Kickstarter, there was a faction pack where you could purchase your favorite faction pack, or all of them if you wanted them, and it came with one retro variant. That's going to be a common. Most likely, we're still finalizing it, but most likely it'll be, if you bought the Mishma one, it'll be a samurai. If you bought the Imperial one, it'll be a clansman. It's basically a common card from every set. But as we make the variants unlockable, we're going to start at the ultra rare side of it. So the common from the common variants for the retro from the faction packs will be very exclusive for a long time, and we will be giving people an opportunity to purchase the faction packs again. Our store, I should probably mention, our store in game will be going live in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
And the first few items we will be selling will include the faction packs, as for people who missed them out the first time or wanted to buy additional ones. It will come with the classic Imperial logo as an avatar, as a card back, and one retro variant card, as well as, I believe, a title that is exclusive to the faction packs. And you can purchase one, all of them, none of them. And since it's a common card, hopefully none of you guys start yelling pay to win. But we want to make sure that people get the opportunity to do that while raising a little additional money past the Kickstarter, so that we can have enough to make sure that this game is as good as it can be.
Yep.
And we will also use that time to test the store. We won't be selling packs until the second beta at the earliest, because we want to have a balanced card set before we start taking your money to sell packs. So we will be testing the store with some Kickstarter-esque items so that we can make sure that it's ready for you when you come in and get a complete set of cards. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Somebody will get a complete set of cards, and I'm sure there will be a top secret reward for that person.
Trip out to the studio.
I did not say that.
Nope.
For the record.
That's not a thing.
I did not
That's
promise somebody a trip.
That's not a thing. Anything else?
Somebody can ask Fred.
Yeah.
Fred will fly you out.
Fred can do it.
I don't even know if he's still here. So the beta is live. We'll leave the code up for probably a couple days. Probably through the weekend at least. But it's Mother's Day, all caps. Someone just posted it again. And if you aren't playing the game and you want to check it out, go for it. If you're watching this later on Twitch or YouTube and the code is not live anymore, apologies. But join our Discord, say hi, follow our social media, and we will let you know the easiest way to get in.
Yep.
Because we're letting people in pretty regularly now, as long as they want. If they want to play, we want to get you in. We just got to make sure that we monitor the balance and the expectations and the server infrastructure and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So I think we'll hang out for a couple more minutes. If anybody has questions or want details on any of the stuff that I announced with the store or the retro variants, feel free to ask. And otherwise, Chris will attempt to play one more game.
I'll play against the AI.
I think you should play against somebody
I'll play against somebody else. I was trying to draw into something. Oh yeah, that sweet gauntlet. That's how we started.
Yeah.
The sweet gauntlet.
The Nerdlies. I think I know the Nerdlies.
I love this new versus screen. Really good. That's a good way to start.
Oh, the versus screen. I personally, I'm so proud that we were able to get the Paul Bonner art into a parallaxing animated state. I think it looks amazing seeing some depth to that art that we've loved for so long. And two things. The default versus screen, there will be one that everybody gets. There will also be unlockable and purchasable variants of the versus screens. So if you, we will have faction rank. So the plan right now is if you level a certain faction all the way to the top rank, you will earn a custom versus screen. So when someone plays against you, they'll know you're a badass within that corporation or, Dark Legion. And
there's a text search on the filter.
And there's a new deck selection screen that will be going live next maybe 3 updates from now. It's finished design. We're doing the implementation. And it actually shows you the animated versus screen as you choose your decks, which will hopefully allow you to change your if you want a certain deck to be tied to a certain screen that you've unlocked, you'll be able to change it. But more importantly, you'll be able to see them. Because right now you only see it on the win screen and the versus screen, and it kind of bums me out that you don't get to see that beautiful animated Paul Bonner art. So we want people to be able to see it and browse it in a new fashion, and that'll come online in the next couple updates. There is text search on the filter, but only for the names of cards. So we will be expanding that. I don't think it'll make it in this update, but it's on my list, where it can also search keywords and other hidden words. Like I know in certain games you can type, say, rare, and it'll show you all rare cards, or retro, maybe it shows you all your retro variants. We'll be adding stuff like that to make the text more powerful as we move forward.
It'd be kind of cool if we had a thing that automatically swapped your variants, like your retro variants, whatever variants, like your full art variants in your deck automatically.
Yeah, it gets tricky because you might only have one retro variant and you have 3 in the deck. But anything we can do to make the deck builder better, feel free to let us know on social media or Discord, because the deck builder itself will be getting a lot of changes. Like we'll be able to sort the deck list by type of cards. You should be able to, on the right side, instead of seeing all cards, you can toggle between just show me visually what's in my deck, which people have requested, and statistics, like how many warriors are in my deck, how many fate cards are in my deck. We'll have a little panel that shows you that stuff, as well as being able to see keywords and search by different text in the filter box. So I'm trying to collect all the information that people want for the deck builder, and then we'll do a pass on that very soon.
This is a aggressive move, but I'm gonna use that to get rid of the auto injector.
Sin asked what card I'm most looking forward to having in the game. Honestly, it was Sean Gallagher. I only had one copy of Sean Gallagher in my whole collection until I started development here. And somebody here, I'm sorry I don't remember who it was, but somebody in Discord, I think gave me actually a Sean Gallagher in mint condition to add to my collection, because the one that I have in my physical deck that I play, and it's all beat up. So I was very happy to get it in. And I was also very excited to tweak his ability, as well as tweak some of the other ultra rare cards, because as I've said in blogs, they all kind of had the same ability, like +2 to all of my faction stats, or all of my faction gains an ability. Like, it was kind of boring. And I want to see the personalities like Sean Gallagher and Valerie Duvall and Max Steiner. I want them to see them have more unique abilities. And we've started that, but I think we'll continue doing that.
Have we fully talked about boards as a cosmetic?
No. There will be new boards that we can swap in. This was just the default board that we made, so the brushed metal. Mm-hmm. I would like to bring in some like darker ones and some different variants in. We don't know for sure if there will be like unlockable cosmetics for that, but there will be multiple ones, and the person who hosts the game will probably be if we allow you to choose the board, the person who hosts the game will be the one that gets played. Mm-hmm. Which we are changing. A common complaint right now, it's the first person in the game goes first, or the host always goes first. We will be randomizing that. Hopefully Invader can help us with that, because my plate's rather full, but the person who goes first should be randomized, and it's just an oversight that we didn't hook up. Dizo, if you mean Adam the code editor, we will get a theme for Adam in the style of Doomtrooper as soon as you make one. Unless you want me to stop working on the game and spend my time on that, in which case, I mean, maybe. But I do recognize a lot of names in here. A couple I don't. So if I don't recognize your name, feel free to say hi on Discord so I know who you are. But hopefully we are about to do a huge fury of invites that will include the features that I mentioned, plus a ton more cards, a ton of changes to the cards. Once we turn on the quests, and you'll be able to use the quests to earn things in the game. The plan right now is to allow people through beta. Since cards aren't final, we can't really let you earn cards, but we can let you earn cosmetics to start. So we're going to finalize the cosmetic system, and the current plan is the quests will eventually give you beta coins, and the coins will allow you to use the shop when it goes live to purchase cosmetic items. So we'll probably leave cosmetic items up. My plan is to put one up that's up for a month, and then other ones that are up for like a week or a day. So it'll encourage you to do as many quests as you can. If there's one you want on a certain day, maybe you'll save your coins and you'll buy that one. I don't know. But we want to give a lot of options so that the things that you earn in beta cosmetic-wise can transfer to the live game. And once the games are finalized, or the cards are finalized, we can probably allow you to earn packs as well. But we try to refrain from giving people packs because it's confusing. They don't understand why they can't open them yet. So we're just trying to curb expectations there. And also we will, the first few quests might not have coins, so we'll grow into that. Then we'll grow into the store where you can use the coins for the cosmetics. Then maybe the coins could be used to purchase things like variant missions or lore cards as those systems come online. But we want to reward people for playing the beta and completing the quests. So you can expect to actually get permanent rewards very soon. Oh, and we will be letting people change and choose their final username soon. I've started to plan that system, and we want to make sure that people get the usernames that they want. A lot of people have usernames that I gave them early on in the alpha, people who came in to test early. So you can expect an email coming out to all the players and everybody that allows them to register and choose a final username using a new username system. So,
where are we going to be next?
Locked in my room working on the game.
RTX?
We are planning on being at RTX in Austin, Texas. I think that's July 4th weekend. So we'll be hanging out there in some capacity, showing off the game.
Yep.
And if all goes well, we are hopefully going to have some sort of big announcement around the time of PAX West. So more info on that over the summer. And if Fred's still around, big thanks for Fred. If he's not, thanks anyway. Without him, I'd have no Doomtrooper, and you'd have no Doomtrooper, and somebody else less awesome than us would be working on it, perhaps.
A way less version. Way cooler. I can't talk.
Oh, he is still here. Fred is Fred's a good dude, so I'm very excited to be working with him on this project, and he loves the things that he has. Conan the Barbarian and the Mutant Chronicles universe. It's very clear that he loves his work. He's created these and fostered these franchises for so many years, and he doesn't seem to just be in it for the money. He seems to be in it because he loves these creations, and very jealous of that career, because imagine being able to work on something like Mutant Chronicles and having success in something like that for, I don't even know, Fred, 30 years.
A long time.
It's a long time.
It's a really long time.
Very jealous of what you've created, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So thanks for hanging out with us today, and everybody else.
I'm gonna win.
Are you?
I'm gonna win. Oh yeah, I'm in good shape.
I said I wanted to see Capital, and somebody showed up with Capital.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
He's not doing.
I really hope that we can make this game balanced, and like I said before, the ultra rares are unique and not overpowered. So feel free to offer any suggestions to that. I have found that users think about the game a certain way, and when a lot of you guys like try to offer solutions, they're very focused. Like, you don't want to nerf your favorite deck, so you're never going to tell me to make your favorite deck weaker. And sometimes you got to step back and you got to say, no, it's okay, because if all of the decks come to this certain stat range, then it'll be better for everybody. And it's hard, even for me. So if you guys can all help me by taking a step back and trying to realize, like, what's a balanced card and how do we make this balance and how do we get to that 53% win rate for the best decks, it's going to be hard, and it's going to hurt. My favorite card is going to hurt your favorite cards, but we want to make sure that some people are playing all commons and uncommons and they're still winning, and some people are playing tons of ultra rares and they're still losing.
And there should be fun, weird combinations that people don't think of, but are still fun to play. Like, maybe they don't win a ton, but they throw your opponent off. Like, not just like Googling the best deck in the game.
I mean, that's going to happen too.
It will, but I've always liked, even if my Taco Time deck got nerfed, I still really liked it. It was 5 cards. If I drew them right, I'd be good to go.
We are turning on a deck minimum soon too, 30 cards, so that nobody can play Taco Time. Oh, and with the interrupt update, you will be seeing 7-card hands in testing again. So bigger decks, bigger hands, to account for the more types of cards you need to hold. People have been asking about that.
No, those are real tactics. Those aren't wonky tactics.
And this week, I want to see somebody beat me with Mortificators. Their stats look low, but they get +5, I believe, to their stats during combat. So they have 1 attack and 1 armor, but during combat, they're up to 6. And that's without a gun or armor. Like, I want to see more people trying that out. And if you're not beating me with the Mortificator deck, then maybe I'll rethink their stats. But someone's got to start playing it.
Maybe we could just turn off some decks for certain periods, but like, these are the 2 decks you're playing, and see how it goes.
Well, we'll do that with quests.
Yeah, challenge accepted.
So the quest system, like I said, the first quest will be play Brotherhood, play Capital, play Imperial, and I want to see people testing those. Maybe Bauhaus as well. But whatever decks that we're currently trying to balance, the quest will encourage you to play those, and we'll reward you for helping. So, cool.
Winning.
Well, we can end the stream while you're winning.
Yeah, we can do that.
No one will ever know.
No one will ever know. Yeah, so also just make sure to check out the Twitter, Discord, Instagram. Keep up with us. And we're always around on Discord for any questions or feedback or input you have about the game. And come see us at RTX.
Lastly, I see Dizo mentioned we need a donate button. I don't ignore that. I appreciate that everybody gave us their money for the Kickstarter, over 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy to fall into a trap where everybody thinks you're begging for money, especially when you're making a card game.
Yep.
Like, buying packs. Oh God, they just want my money. It's pay to win. It costs too much money to play this game. Blah blah blah. Like, you're not wrong, but I want to stay away from that, and that's why I haven't put up a donate button. That's why we haven't launched any further post Kickstarter things. That's why we haven't announced a Patreon or anything. But we have all of those things. We have a shop. We have the Kickstarter stuff going live in the store soon. And we probably, Secret Cow Level itself will probably have a Patreon eventually once we know exactly what we could give people for their donation. Because I don't want to just take people's money blindly ever. I want to make sure that people want to give us their money. And I want to make sure they know what they're getting. Especially with one failure with a Kickstarter, a lot of the cosmetic rewards, we kind of told you what you were going to get, but we didn't show you. You don't know what your card back is. You just know you get a card back. So the next time that we ask for your money, we'll show you, this is your card back. This is your avatar. These are the things you get visually and specifically for the money that you give us. And I think that honesty and transparency is important. And it sucks that we kind of missed it on the Kickstarter a little bit.
I think that's very important, especially because games that are kickstarted, they're like, this is what we need to do it. And then it's like, oh, now we need a little more. Now we need a little more without saying specifics. It's, you lose trust and faith in the people that you're making this game for. Yeah. And it's important to keep that trust and be upfront and transparent with all these things.
So I want to deliver what I promise people, and I want to deliver more. And if I keep asking for money before I've delivered what I promised, then it kind of makes me look bad and us look bad. And that's important to me. So just know that you will be able to throw money at us soon if you want to. But hopefully you will want to do it and you will feel rewarded with what you get for the money.
Yep.
And that's going to be a point of Doomtrooper moving forward forever. And I hope people will bear with us on that, because I think that's something that a lot of other games in this genre lack. So
cool.
That's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out. So when do you want to do one of these again? In a couple weeks? A week or two?
Yeah, hopefully we'll do another stream at least in the next month.
Okay.
And I want to be, in the future, we will not only be showing the current build, but I want to be showing future builds. And I want people's feedback. If people have questions, if people want to help shape the future of the game, like, I want people to speak up on it. And hopefully we can build this community a little more. And if you have ideas on time, like when we should do the streams so it's better for everybody in Europe, let us know. We'll do our best to accommodate, or maybe we'll do a different time every week to accommodate for different time zones. But we chose this time because it was still doable for a lot of people. So definitely let us know. And follow, a lot of people don't realize it, but it helps us so much. Like, follow our Twitch, our Instagram, our Facebook. For example, if we get 10,000 Instagram followers, which is a long ways away, Instagram gives us more features that we can use to advertise, and it helps us get more followers. But we have to get more followers to unlock that. That happens a lot. And videos that we put on YouTube, like the little, I know you're sick of hearing it if you watch YouTube, smash that like button, you know.
Click the bell, be part of the notification squad.
But that stuff really helps. And if you want to help us and you don't want to give us money, just following, liking, thumbs upping, spreading the word, retweeting, that is almost better than money. I mean, money's probably still the best. If you have $1 million and you want to make Doomtrooper awesome, give us that. If you don't, just smash the like
We just
button.
went from, hey, we're not going to do any of that, but if you had $1 million, just call me my dude. Give that back to you.
Sarcasm. So yeah, so please, like, follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff, because even if you have an Instagram account that you don't use and you follow us, like, that still gives us +1 on the number, and we're one closer to unlocking new features and stuff. So
all right.
So thanks, everybody.
Thanks. We will see you guys next time.